instructors, I think I have found a much better way to do the audience analysis. I know they can get really complicated because we have to have a forum where students can post the link to their survey, and then each student has to go into each student's post and take all the surveys, and then they have to send us an email of who took the survey, and then we have to create some sort of rubric where we can mark out, yes, Jack took Mary's, Gary's, Larry's, Mary took Jack's, Gary's, Larry's. So it gets really complicated. This, once you set it up, will literally only take you at most 15 minutes to complete the grading for your audience analysis and to ensure everyone's taken everyone's surveys, or just to see who's taken whose surveys. So what I've done is I've just taken a Google Sheet, and Google Sheets are great because you can share them with your class and people don't have to have a Google account to access them. And we'll look at that in a second. There's some fields hidden that I'll go over in a second, but this is what the student's view is going to be. So they'll click this link, and I've made a 3-minute introductory video for them showing them what they need to do, but it's very simple. They'll click the link, they'll post the link to their survey here. So Jack will put his link here, Mary will put her link here, etc. And I have the due dates here. So this is going to be due Friday, June 12th. 2020. And then they're going to need to come back in by the end of the day, Sunday, June 4th, and take each of their classmates' surveys. And all I'm asking them to do here is just to enter yes once they've taken all the surveys. Really, this space is just to remind them that they need to come in and do this because you're going to calculate that over here. And then the last thing the student has to do is by Wednesday, come in here and list the code names of all those who have completed your survey. So they should be able to just do a simple report, whether they're using SurveyMonkey or a Google survey or whichever, and then just come in here and copy and paste or list. So this will be, each student has a code name and they need to have a code name spot on their survey, and then they'll put the code names here. So this is the student view. I think it makes it a lot easier for them because they're not having to continually go back in and out of forums and to send you an email. Literally everything's located in one place. Let's look at the instructor view. Let me open up my hidden columns. All right. So we will go ahead and unhide. So the 3 extra columns I have is their code name. So Jack's code name is Oak, Mary's is Fur, etc. And then I have where the magic happens, which is over here, which is survey completion count and survey completion grade. Let me go ahead and hide this column because you really don't need it. Besides just to, another verification that they said that they did all of it. So let me hide this column so we can see everything in one place. So what you're going to want to do is make a formula in this one that will count how many survey completions there's been. But the first thing we do to do that is do a define grade. So let's select all of these, left click, you're going to go down here and you're going to define your name range. And what this does is it'll just make sure that it's using the exact right thing to do your calculations. You can just select, but then when you pull the formula down, it can get complicated. So it's better to just go in here, and we're going to call it count responses and hit done and exit out of here. So now you have a range. In this field, you're just going to open it up and you're going to type a formula. And it's kind of a complicated formula, but you only have to type it once. And then once you have it, you can use this for basically forever. You can use it for each class and copy it over. And I'm sending you a link to this directly, so you don't have to worry about doing it. But I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm using COUNTIF. And I'm going to use the range that we just came up with. So that is the count responses. So you see it down here. So go ahead and select that. You hit a comma. And then what you're going to do, and I'll type this in and then I'll explain exactly what it does. You're going to type the first part of the formula in. You're going to pick Oak. And then you're going to close out the formula the same way that you started it. Star 2. And then we're going to close it with parentheses. Alright, sorry about that. And then what you need to do from here is this formula, you have told it to count. So you're telling it to count how many times Oak is mentioned here. So how many times did Jack complete one of the classmates' surveys? Well, he did it 5 times. And here's where the magic happens. All I have to do that, to see for every single student, is just copy that formula down. So here you can see it's counting how many times Fur has been mentioned here. It's counting how many times Maple has been mentioned here. So as you can see, this makes things so much easier because now we know that Jack, whose code name is Oak, and then the students went in here and said, you know, each student put whether Oak did theirs or not. And we know that Oak did 5 surveys. One way you can double check this, especially if you're a little like uneasy, like that doesn't really seem right. All you have to do to double check it is just control find, type Oak, and then it will tell you right here how many times Oak is mentioned. And remember, this is counting as 1, so that's where 6 comes from. But if you want to check just straight down through here, you know, Oak, 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 Oak. So that's a really easy way to just verify that it's correct. And the reason we use a complicated COUNTIF formula instead of just your standard COUNTIF Oak is because look at the way the students have typed these in, which is going to be more real world. It's not going to be typed perfectly. Everybody's not going to have a comma, etc. All the different code names are different. So capitals, commas, some have no spaces, some have spaces, some even have dashes between it. Some are smushed together like spruce and ash. This Excel document doesn't care. All it cares is that the letters O-A-K, it's counting how many times that's mentioned in this column. So, again, this really takes your work down because you're not having to go through emails and you're not having to do anything basically. And then to calculate the grade, all you need to do is see how many students you have. So say 18, or how many students completed it. You know, if only 15 students posted their survey, you would make it out of that. But I'm assuming all 18 of mine have done it. So to do the grade, I'm just saying equals and clicking here. So the F4 divided by, say, all 18 of my students did it. And again, I'm going to just do a simple click and drag. Great. And then to make it even easier for you to look at, we're going to format it as a percentage and get rid of some of these decimal places. All right. So now we know that Jack got a 28% on his survey completion because he only did 5 people's surveys. Let's see, the highest grade we have here, which is just a fake example, is Ivan. He completed 16 of the 18 surveys and got a 89. And again, if you want to double check it, the control F function makes it really easy to just verify that you have the right statistics in your formula here. The last thing I want to show you is just how to share. You may already know how to make it a shareable link. And so yours will come up and you'll just have it here and you'll need to click get link. I've already done that. So there's my link. But here's what the important part. You want to say anyone with this link and then you'll have options. So I have it as anyone with this link can edit. So they're all editors. And you have to turn that on or else they won't be able to come in here and type in their put in their survey links and type who did their surveys and that kind of thing there. So that's basically the way that you do that. If you want to get more specific, you know, you can just send it directly to your classmates. But the problem with doing it where you just share with your with the people in your class is that if they don't have a Google account, they won't be able to see it. So anyone with link just makes it a lot easier. Okay, well that's it. I just wanted to share this because I thought it would make things just a whole lot easier in general, and I'm going to share the link to the Google Doc as well, so you don't even have to put in these formulas. You can just use it and copy and paste it if you like it. Great, thanks.